Private Pilot Lesson 2.2, the attitude indicator. Now we're switching systems. We talked about one on the pedostatic system. Now I want to talk about an instrument on the vacuum system, and that is the attitude indicator. Now look at our diagram, and this, by the way, is the exact diagram the FAA gives you for your written test, so no better diagram to actually look at. And we can see our attitude indicator here. And let's just go through the different parts of the attitude indicator so we know what we're looking at. Where you see arrow A, that is called our banking scale. And our banking scale works in tens effectively, 10, 20, 30, then the far one is 60. I'll explain more about that here in just a second. But that's showing us how much bank we're actually putting in with our attitude indicator. Arrow B is our horizon bar. That is where our miniature airplane, which is C there, is in reference to the horizon and how much bank we're applying. Now I want to spend some time too and share with you about that banking scale. Let's just zoom in on this so you can see how that works. Obviously the top is 0. The next line there is 10. The next line is 20. Next line is 30. Then we make a big jump to 60 degrees of bank. So as you can see, the turn we're in right now is a 20-degree turn to the left. So we can really see how that works, and we know when we're doing our steep turns, which for private pilot are 45 degrees of bank, we can kind of interpolate to see where 45 degrees of bank is. Let's chat momentarily a little bit about how this actually works. We said the attitude indicator works on our vacuum system, and it works on the principle of gyroscopic precession. I have in my hand here a taken apart attitude indicator, which you can see. This is our horizon bar right here. Substitutes the miniature airplane, everything else, the plate is missing, be here, but you can see how that moves. This literally floats. It works like a top. Imagine if I was spinning a top inside here, and that top wants to stay upright, whereas everything moves. You can see how it works to stay upright in that case as I move. See how that works? It's gyroscopic is how that works. So the vacuum is sucking, trying to keep this top upright as everything else moves around it, and this top stays the same, showing us our attitude. Now you can see an attitude indicator is also considered unreliable beyond 60 degrees of bank. It has a tendency to tumble. If I put this thing in 60 degrees of bank or more, that top has no way to stay upright anymore. So we can see how that works. Inside of an attitude indicator, works on the vacuum system and on the principle of gyroscopic precession is how that actually works. The attitude indicator is on my vacuum system. I lose my vacuum pump, I'm going to lose my attitude indicator, and one more instrument that we're going to talk about here in a future lesson.